This channel supports 8-Bit Salute and Operation Supply Drop. Please help us raise money to help support our men and women in service throughout the world. Operation Supply Drop, making fun where there is none. What up, everybody? This is your boy Black Magus, and just getting all the political stuff out while I can. I actually need to be going to bed. Been doing homework, doing some other videos, but just want to catch up on some things before I finally pass out. So, of course, we know that Donald Trump is now the president of the United States, and of course, the biggest joke flying around, which has been flying around for a while. Even the country got in on the joke by posting memes. But the biggest thing is, okay, it's time to go to Canada. You hear people say that, and I even joked with my sisters this morning, like, hey, we can just all get our passports. We could just all have a lovely trip. Our forefathers did it, you know. There were slaves who made that run on the Underground Railroad and went to Canada to escape oppression. Hey, why don't we do the same? The truth of the matter is, I ain't going no fucking where. While I hear great things about Canada, and I still want to visit. I really do want to visit places in Canada I want to visit. I hear Toronto's great. I hear Vancouver is absolutely beautiful. I'm curious about Montreal, because I've heard some things about that city being kind of cool too. I guess it's the only 3 Canadian cities that I'm really familiar with. Of course, from a sports aspect, I've heard of Winnipeg. But yeah, no, those are the 3 that I've heard the most about. I would just like to, experience it. It would be nice to see our neighbors up north. I, talked to a bunch of people from YouTube that are from there. I follow a lot of personalities from there. I mean, why not? I mean, they're just, I guess, the happier side of the United States, I guess, and apparently the more sane, as we could tell. Anyway, no, there's no reason to just pack up your bags and leave. While things are probably going to be pretty rough over the next 4 years, there's been rough times in this country. And there always are going to be rough times. Things are never going to be perfect. It's just a part of life. More importantly, though, what good does cutting and running do when you don't get what you want, or things don't go the way that you foresee them? Now, I know there's going to be a lot of fear and anxiety, because there's a lot of things with xenophobia, homophobia, racism, religious things that look scary. I mean, this man ran on a platform that built a groundswell of people who hate immigrants, hate Muslims, hate blacks, hate Latinos, want this to be a quote-unquote God-fearing nation again, all about the Christian right. Like, this is a lot of stuff and rhetoric that's gone on that, yeah, it's spooky. It's very, very spooky. But these are the times where people who are committed to living in a society where people have equal rights, where you learn to respect one another's differences. You may not like each other's view on life, you may not like everybody's lifestyle, but you're human enough to respect that they have that right, and to not treat it as if it's a plague on your existence. A lot of the things that were said during that election were things that I just find weird, that we're still in that mentality where, the idea of a homosexual marriage is so frightful. It's going to take our society and just throw it all to hell, when what that man and that other man, or that woman and that other woman, decides to do with each other really doesn't have that much impact on you. You still have the right to live your life and to have your views the way you want to, and so on, what forth. Nobody's limiting you from being a Christian who believes one thing. Just know that that's their way of life, and just respect it. That's all you have to do. It's like, okay, it's your right. I don't agree, but whatever. It's not doing anything to me. That whole, oh, well, seeing two men walking together is going to make my son want to do that. No. Your son's going to be what he's going to be because that's what he's going to be. I wish people would really get that in their head, that we become the people that we are going to become because of the more immediate influences on us more than anything. And more importantly, because that's who we were supposed to be. That's just how it was going to be. I'm sure no one ever went out of their way to instill values in someone like Jeffrey Dahmer to become a cannibal. If they did, then shame on that person. But sometimes people just go a certain way, or there's just certain subtle things. You can't protect your child from growing into the person they're going to be, or make them be the person that you want to be. They have to be who they want to be. So that whole bullshit when people come at like how, seeing that stuff, or seeing a kid perform Muslim prayer will make my kid want to be. If your kid is that weak-minded to follow everything he sees, you're not doing something right as a parent. So get the fuck out of here with that shit. The whole immigrant thing. It's very funny how in this country, how we love to like harp on like, oh my God, the immigrants are coming and they're taking all the jobs. And I kind of discussed this at work. And reality check. Most of the jobs that immigrants do are jobs that most of us Americans won't do because we feel like there's not enough money in it, or there's not enough dignity or respect in it. Those people aren't doing the greatest jobs in the world. It's not like they're coming over here and becoming doctors and lawyers. They're taking jobs from them. No, they're coming and they're doing landscaping, they're doing janitorial stuff and all that stuff that a lot of Americans see themselves above, or don't want to be paid a certain amount. Working at McDonald's, working at convenience stores and things like that. Most of us don't want to do that for minimum wage. So I don't know where the fear of them taking over. Now, there are cases where people come over here, they'll start low, and they'll work themselves up. Well, hey, imagine that. Someone working hard and bettering themselves to become something more. Gee, that's not America now, is it? So it makes no fucking sense. They take a path that we're not willing to, and they succeed. The fuck you got a problem for? You could have done the same thing if you wanted to. Most of us don't want to. A lot of people who scream about the immigrant thing, they know they don't have a problem with them because they look at them as cheap labor, as people they don't have to pay taxes on, things like that. So while you hear a lot of these people like Trump talk about the immigrants and building this wall, you also look at his business practices and how he hires a lot of these people to do construction for his hotels because it saves them money. So it's hypocrisy all across the board. So that whole immigrant thing, we've been bullshitting ourselves all the time. The truth of the matter is, leading them to a path to citizenship isn't going to make things harder for us, especially if they continue to do the jobs that we don't want to do and we continue to avoid doing certain things. As long as people are still having children and people are growing up to the working age, there's always going to be competitions for jobs anyway. So I don't think it's going to change much by making immigrants citizens. It just means that, hey, businesses now have to be on the up and up, and they have to treat these people with respect and pay them working wages and pay them according to the work scale, and treat them with the benefits that they have to do Americans. Stuff that they don't want to do, because that means that's going to come out of pocket of their profits. And God, God help us if these billionaire corporations have to take some of their money from their executives' pockets and spread it across, the workers. Holy shit. That's just not the way that we want to do things, right? So it's just stuff like that. The whole Muslim thing, we got to kick the Muslims out and all of that. Like, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Christianity has probably done more damage on this world than any other religion ever. Dating back to medieval times, people have done things in the name of God that has been atrocious. So you're telling me that these people from other countries, most of them who are in this country, who are just here for a better chance to escape some of the problems that they have in their country, you're telling me that they're the biggest threat that we have? Get the fuck out of here. Come on, people. Let's be serious. Truth is, all religions have their black marks. They have their groups that they wish didn't exist, that make their religion look worse than it already is. Same thing with Christianity, people. There's been things that have been done in the name of God, things that are still being done in the name of God, that for a lot of Christians isn't acceptable. And they don't like it. But those people exist. Those people do those things. Are we going to condemn all of Christianity for the behavior of those people? And I'm not even condemning. When I say the whole thing about how Christianity has done so much damage, even then, I don't condemn it. I don't condemn anybody for being Christian, because I know that in reality there are such a thing as good Christians, as people who, in no matter what religion they are, they do things in the right way. So, yeah, come on, get out of here. Come on, get the fuck out of here with that stuff. So why are we running? It's not like we can't have an opportunity to oppose a lot of these ideas. There are ways too. I think we've learned from that election that a lot of people didn't feel the need to do so. They should have felt the need to do so. Hopefully this will inspire people to feel the need to be in opposition of a lot of these things that are going on. That's the thing. Cutting and running solves nothing. It just reaffirms all the bad things and all the bad people, that what they're doing is okay, because they can just bully you and they can just push you out and they can make you give up. And fuck if I'm gonna like sit here and give up and act like the world's coming to an end. There's still a lot in this country that is worth fighting for. And if we really want to make this country better, you don't leave. You don't pick up your ball and cry and walk off the court. You stand your ground. You fight. And I think that's one of the things that needs to come out the most from all of what's going on. Cutting and running, and I hate to say this, but from my perspective as an African American, I've seen it way too much from African Americans these days. It's so much simpler to just throw your hands up and say, well, this ain't working. I'm not going to be bothered. Why should I care? Because they don't care and all that. No. How are they going to care if you're showing that you don't care? You're not giving anybody a reason to care because you're not pushing for them to care. You're just saying, fuck it. They ain't care, so they ain't going to do the things I want to do, so why should I vote? Why should I, worry about what's going on in the world, blah blah blah. No, the world don't fucking work like that. You want things to happen, you move, you work for it. You don't just wait for somebody to give it to you, or somebody to come with pretty words and to say something that you like to hear, and like, oh, he's gonna do what I want him to do, so that's why I'm gonna vote for him. No, you still got to be proactive. You got to make sure that person does these things. You can't just be like, well, he said he was going. No, don't work like that. Stop looking at things in such a simplistic, short-sighted view. It's all a chess game, people. Moves upon moves. You don't just like move and put your opponent in check and think that's it, the game's over. No, they're gonna work to get you back. It's the ebb and flow of life. It always has been, and not enough people are committed to the chess game. They want it to be checkers, just simple, quick, so I don't have to be bothered with using any thought or wasting any time. No, it's not that easy, and it shouldn't be that easy. And anything that's worth it, you usually have to work hard for it, and you have to want it. You have to feel like it's worth a damn, and act like it's worth a damn in order to achieve it. You don't? Well, you get what you get now. You know what I mean? And you get the mentality that I need to move to Canada. You know, and again, I say it jokingly, but in reality, no. We're not going anywhere. And none of you should go anywhere. Stand your ground and fight. There's different ways. I mean, hell, Bernie Sanders is pretty much said it best, you know. Things don't go your way, that's okay. There are other ways to find opportunities to make things better. That's your mentality. That's what you have to remember. It doesn't work out this way, okay, so be it. Let's find another way. Keep trying until you find the right answer. Some things come fast, some things take time. You just have to commit yourself to that and be willing to take as much time as you can and make as much effort as you can. So don't feel need to run to Canada. And then this is not an condemnation on Canada, because again, I hear lovely things about the nation, but I'm sure they don't want a bunch of people who cut and run there either. They don't want a bunch of bitches in their country. I wouldn't. So, hey, let's see how we could figure out things and actually work to correct them. Alright? Alright, so, as always, feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Black Makers, and I'm out. Deuces.